All right, so we're going to talk about waking up and kind of spiritual powers and gaining these long lost abilities, which really weren't lost at all. They were just kind of blocked. And it's not yours or mine, it's just a pass through in a way. So, what am I talking about? I'm talking about like spiritual powers or abilities and stuff like clairvoyance or claircognizance or just different things that can kind of show these aspects of life that are unseen, and they start to bring these things to light. So let's go into some experiences and personal experiences. Recently I've had a experience that was extremely profound for me, and I went into a crystal shop and I sat down and I started to feel everything around me, and I could feel the people, and it's almost like I could hear every single person speaking all at the same time, but I could hear their conversations clearly and distinctly as each one of them. And it's like, even when they weren't talking, it was almost like I could hear the voice in their head, and I just kind of knew what they were feeling and thinking based off of my physical body and my mental body. And it's really interesting because I think that I was really open, and I ended up maybe taking on some stuff that I wasn't expecting because of the fact that I didn't really understand how open I was to everything around me. And so, but anyways, like what happened was I started to feel and hear these thoughts and feelings and connections, and I've been just like more and more kind of like tapping into these things where it's like you think about something, and then like you ask yourself a question in your head mentally, and then that question is answered for you through whatever means around you. And it's not like something that's normal kind of like answering. It's like since you can tap into these levels of existence, you can kind of like use the medium of other things as like a kind of like a wave to ride on in order to be able to get to where you're trying to go to mentally. So like if you have a question, your destination is the answer, and you can use, say, my voice as a wave to ride on to get to that answer. And that's one of them. And then some other ones, and I think that's claircognizance. And then the clairvoyance is more of like kind of images that flash in your head, like, but it doesn't, it's not like you close your eyes and you see things, which you can sometimes. When that happens, it's more of like fractals or sacred geometry type things. But it's like when you imagine something, it's like you don't really even have to close your eyes. It's something that kind of, it happens on another level of reality, you know? Like it's like a 3D kind of object, but it's not tangible. Like it's something that's in the mind's eye. But like it's what I mean by that is that like you start, or these are experiences that I've had, you know, like I'll start to think about something, and then it'll be such a vivid image of it, but it's not an image. And sometimes it's like kind of confusing how crazy it can be. And then another thing that I've had was where I close my eyes and I can see my energy body like with my eyes closed. Like I can hold my hand up against or in front of my face, and I can see like my hand like with my eyes closed. And it's sometimes it's really, one time it was like so vivid that like I literally knew that I was not in my body anymore, because like there was no way. Like it was like I was looking at my light body, and it was so like as I thought about moving it moved, and like it was just very vivid. And then I've had a lot of other times where you close your eyes and you could see the entire environment around you still for like a good 30 seconds or so, and then it starts to like slowly dissipate as you stop thinking about it. But like it's really interesting how deeply it goes though, because I've tried looking at my hands while, you know, my eyes are closed, and it just becomes like more and more vivid as you kind of practice it more. And then there's like other things like being able to physically feel all of the energetic fields around me, and feeling like I can feel other people, like their emotional states through my physical body, like because I've kind of unlocked my chakras, or like I've kind of like developed a connection between my body and my energetic body. I can actually use my physical body to feel my energetic field, and my energetic field surrounds me by, you know, a long or a big way. So anything that's kind of in that energetic field, you can basically, like, you use your aura as a way to be able to feel other people as if they were you. So like your aura is basically like your sense of yourself, you know, it's like your ego, but like it's like your energetic ego that's around you. And it's not like your ego because it doesn't have like a mind, but it's like the energetic field that's around you. And but it's like what you feel as being yourself, you know. So physically or mentally. And the aura though, like if you expand your aura, then you start to notice that it will encompass things that are around you. And then you'll be able to almost, with people in particular, you'll be able to hear, or not hear, but like it's almost like you feel other people as if they were you. So like you can feel other people's emotional states and their mental states and their mental mind and everything like that, and all their chatter as if it was you, by just focusing on them, because that kind of like line or boundary between you and your environment is starting to get blurred. And then with that blurring, you start to be able to like almost meld into everything that's around you and gain information from things like that. I find it really, really interesting. And what are some other things, you know, like ungodly amounts of energy. So like feeling like surges of energy that like you don't even know where they're coming from. And you know, just like literally feeling like you have just a ton of physical energy because of learning how to maneuver the energy around my body. So like I'm starting to learn more and more every day how to notice the energy like flow, and then maneuver it and place it in different places in my body in order to be able to gain more energy to be able to do stuff, you know. Like so say I need to be able to kind of project myself a lot, then I can actually pull my energy into my sacral or solar plexus, and then like use that, and then know where the energy is flowing through, and then kind of like flare up each part of my body. Like say right now I'm kind of trying to flare up my throat, so like you kind of flare up each type of your part of your body or your energetic body in order to be able to do whatever you are trying to do. And through understanding the energy flow, you can start to be able to actually control that, and it basically taps you into this almost infinite source of energy where you can, if you're able to tap into it, then you can actually pull it from just like the earth, or like the cosmos itself, you know. And that's something that's really interesting to me too. Let's go one more. Say kind of like an intuition of like knowing when to move, or like it's almost like you ask yourself questions, and then like, and this is in the moment, so like if I'm like, should I go right or left, and then sometimes you see things physically, like I'll see a little blob thing, like it looks kind of like a blob, like move in the direction, or like it's like I'll feel a nudge intuitively as well, where it'll like kind of point you in the right direction. And then also like seeing kind of like these energy forms around everywhere, like flying around everywhere. And then like but it's kind of just using your intuitive notions, or also like senses that are really kind of not normal, to be able to point you in the directions that you need to go. And a lot of times people call that like tapping into angels and other things like that, and it comes with intuition as well. But that's another thing. And then just you know, like connecting with the earth and connecting with everything like around you, it just brings you that kind of that connection to other people, or the mind complex that is made up on this planet. And like basically, like if you barefoot ground yourself and connect yourself to the earth, then it actually becomes a lot easier to connect into that Akashic records that the earth holds, in order to be able to, like, you know, remember things from past lives, or like remember lessons and different intuitive things that you may know from other lifetimes, and just or just other experiential things that are just like in the memory complex of earth. And then as you do that more, you can start to tap into the earth or the sun, and you can kind of pull information from all these different more clean energy sources rather than from other people. And then I feel like as I do that more and more, I start to not really want to watch videos on YouTube or things like that, and I start wanting to get this information from my own intuitive notions. Now, it's still enjoyable to watch YouTube and things like that, because you basically, when you watch another person, you start to take on their energy a little bit. And if somebody has a really nice energy, then it can be nice to kind of feel into that through the medium of YouTube. But yeah, I just find it really interesting, like all these different things that are unlocking, and it feels like it's just more and more stuff that's kind of like coming to light in my mind and my body and my spirit every day. And it's like accelerating in a way, you know, in a good way. And it's just you got to be really, really open in order to be able to feel these things, or to understand them and to accept them. And but it's fun. And you know, I would say make sure your heart is open in order to be able to not really get freaked out by these things happening. But other than that, I don't know. I think that the spiritual powers are something that's real, and that are going to be unlocked in a lot of other people. Just remember that in order to unlock them, you have to be a conduit for source energy. So you have to be open or empty your cup in order to be able to have it be filled by the universe. Otherwise, you're gonna, like, there's also the possibility of having to like will yourself into having these things done. So like you can literally kind of use your willpower in order to be able to heal somebody, but that's eventually taken away later. So it's like a drug almost, when the healing from the heart is not taken away, because it's not done by you, it's done by source or spirit.